Ladies and gentlemen, we have a article on Akio Iyoku's statements from the interview that he did on January 5th, 2024 about the future of Dragon Ball. This is our first news in 2024 on exactly which direction Dragon Ball is going to be going and where they're likely to end up. So let's go ahead and jump right in, guys, and see if there's anything new here, anything that can give us some sort of solace on what's coming for Dragon Ball next. Hopefully something a little bit more than Daima, in my opinion. For the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball in 2024, the series will be revived as a completely new anime. What does that mean? Does that mean that it's not going to be... Because the only thing coming in next year is Daima. Does that mean that it's not connected at all to Super? The immortal son Goku chose the United States, not his home country of Japan, as the place to announce his return to the world. When Akio Iyoku, the president of Capsule Corporation Tokyo Chiyoda Tokyo and the producer of the series, dressed as Son Goku and announced the new anime at Comic-Con, the world's largest pop culture convention in New York in October 2023, over 3,000 fans cheered. Okay, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about them announcing the future of Dragon Ball at Comic-Con. Okay, for a minute there, I thought that I don't know what I was thinking, something completely off base probably, but I thought they were saying something completely different here, but they're just talking about Comic-Con to start out with. In the past, overseas expansion of anime was treated as an extra. The original manga was published in book format, became a hit, and was then made into an animated series in Japan. According to Mr. Iyoku, overseas expansion was something that would always come later. There was a time when the Dragon Ball anime was sold overseas for about $1,000 per episode. Man, that would have been a steal now. Currently, the idea is to expand the production to the rest of the world without separating domestic and overseas markets. It was only because of the huge domestic market that overseas expansion was not seen as a viable option. After reaching a record high of 6.53 million copies of Weekly Shonen Jump at the end of 1994, thanks to the exploding popularity of Dragon Ball, the circulation of this magazine fell to about 1.2 million by 2023. According to PwC, while the global content market is expecting to grow at an annual rate of about 4% through 2027, Japan will rank 49th out of 53 countries' regions with only 2% of that market. The content market has been revolutionized by the rise of streaming services. More than 1 billion viewers around the world consume works of art regardless of place and time. Unless we leap out of Japan where the market is limited, like the Monkey King, and fight our way across the globe, we will be able to get best of the world. The US has recognized the potential of Japanese anime and is spending huge sums of money to acquire it. The budget for Pluto, an anime based on Naoki Urasawa's novel that Netflix began distributing in October 23, is over 300 million yen per episode, 45 times the usual budget. Okay, so there is a lot of numbers, a lot of statistics, a lot of history in everything that I just read, but it all comes down to this. It all can be summarized to this. They are going to make either a live action Dragon Ball, or they're going to make something maybe like a Pixar style, something that we've been talking about for years now, but it looks like we are finally getting to a place where they are going to get it. Now, you may be wondering, BlackScape, how are you getting that from this? They're talking about not only the explosion of Dragon Ball due to the overseas markets, but the continued explosion of what's happening now with anime, how Western audiences are more receptive to anime as their norm, and Western organizations and companies are spending millions of dollars in anime to bring in a bigger audience. The entire summary of these paragraphs is that they're trying to bring a bigger audience of Dragon Ball, of anime, together. And they need to get outside of Japan to do that because Japan is limited. And so that's what they're talking about. And if you really take this to heart, and the reason that I'm coming up with the fact that they will be making some sort, I would guarantee by 2025 we'll be getting some rumblings of either a live action Dragon Ball or an animated, like almost like the new Pokemon movies have been. type of Dragon Ball is because the biggest thing that just dropped like a few months ago that literally destroyed records, it was anime based and makes a lot of people who have not watched anime at all, brings them in and gets them interested in anime, was the One Piece live action. One Piece is by far one of the oldest and biggest selling manga out there, and anime out there, and now it's got a blockbuster style type of record destroying live action that really is really good, and they put a lot of money behind it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was never taken out of the fact that this was live action. I was never taken out of that because they did such a great job with the mannerisms. They just did Yu Yu Hakusho, which Yu Yu Hakusho is hit or miss for some of you guys, especially the way they shortened it, but the way they had the characters, the mannerisms, the story, the casting, everything to me was perfect on that, besides the fact that they shortened the story. So they are literally spending billions of dollars on anime right now. Dragon Ball is one of the biggest properties in the world. It is a no-brainer that they're going to bring live action or a sort of animated type of Dragon Ball either to Netflix or to the box office in tandem with Daima, because Daima is just a TV series. These are huge projects that are movies, which again could be separate. The challenge is to make the leap to the next generation's industry. Many of the Japanese people grew up watching Son Goku, who became stronger and stronger by breaking through his limits every time he met a powerful enemy. When faced with a difficult situation, Son Goku would say, "I'm getting pumped up. Let's enjoy facing new challenges and take the world without fear of failure." So I took a lot from that ending right there, basically meaning that, hey, we know that Japan is hesitant on doing another live action because of the way the original Dragon Ball live action came out, and we also know that Japan is very closed off with Dragon Ball. Like, they want everything to be in their own zone of interest, and so they need to get past that hurdle to really push themselves out and give us more than what we've gotten so far, just like One Piece has been doing, and Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Full Metal Alchemist, like all these different anime, they've all jumped out and done new things and have really taken a step to maybe have some failure. And the reason that Dragon Ball doesn't want to do that is because, I guarantee it's because of Dragon Ball Evolution. Evolution was a huge, tremendous flop because they didn't have a good team behind it. They didn't understand, the team that was there did not understand Dragon Ball. Bad casting, bad way to make the movie. And so I feel like now we're in a spot where live action Dragon Ball would be as faithful as possible and look really good with the right amount of money behind it. But even like a CGI Pixar, similar to I've been making this art recently, like kind of like that 3D animation style, like that would be perfect for Dragon Ball moving forward. And I can totally see that being the case in 2024, where they are heading into that direction. It kind of feels like this entire thing is talking about them really trying to break out of that box and do something new. But at the end of the day, it's going to be whether they are willing to take that risk or not, with not only the fans outside of Japan, but also with the fans inside of Japan. But this is all brand new news. It's just dropped today, and I'm covering it as soon as possible. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this situation. Are you guys up for a CGI 3D Dragon Ball on Netflix or a live action Dragon Ball on Netflix? I'll definitely have some polls in the community tab this weekend on which one you guys would like more.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.